The last step in this process is to change your edited Photoshop documents that you ran through batch processing into JPEGs. And the easiest way that I found to do this is through image processing. Image processing lets you do other things too, but for our means today, we'll just talk about how to change file sizes. First, I want to check to see if the batch processing that I completed in the previous video did save. So I told the computer to put my documents, my pictures, into Action 1 PSDs as an output, so there they all are. Good deal. Now I'll start with this folder and then save them into the Action 1 JPEG folder as JPEGs. So I'll open up Photoshop, go File, and then down to Scripts, Image Processor. You can run actions here as well. I like running actions through the batch processor because you're able to make modifications instead of having Photoshop lump everything together. So like I talked about in the previous video, you can kind of mentally hit pause after every single part of your action that's completed and move things around and have the ability to adjust things like levels and adjustment layers and opacity, as well as placement of type. So that's why we're not just using the image processor. But image processor is good to change document settings. So one, select the images you want to process. I'm going to select a folder. Go to my PC, go through this whole thing again. Using my student folder in here. Oops. And going to my Action 1 PSDs. I'm going to say OK. Select a location to save my processed images. I don't want to save in the same location. I want to select a different folder. And I want to select Action 1 JPEGs and say OK. And I don't want to run an action like I just talked about, although if I don't want any editing capabilities I can. It's pretty quick. I'll say Run. So as you can see, this is a little bit quicker. It doesn't ask me, it doesn't ask my permission through each coded step in the actions. Just goes as quick as it can and applies that action. Positive. This method is a little bit quicker. But the negative is that you're not able to change, manipulate, or alter any specific sub-steps within your action. Even though this isn't done, we will check to see if it's working. So I'll go back here, my Action 1 JPEGs, double click. It's created a file that's called JPEG, and then all of my images are popping up. I can click to see what my images are looking like. And they all have that same kind of unified look to them. So as a result of this project, I have actions that I can save. You can put these on a flash drive if you want to work from home too, if you have Photoshop. I have my original images. These aren't touched. I can run these through multiple actions in the future. I have my action Photoshop documents, so if I wanted to open these up and apply subtle changes, I could. And then once I've done that, I run that file or that folder through the image processing to turn them all to JPEGs. So I have 3 separate sets of photographs, and they can all serve different purposes. This is a lot nicer than just editing your Photoshop documents right away and then accidentally losing originals. From here on out, you'll do this process again, maybe make a little bit more complex action now that you know what's going on, and then run your action both through batch processing and then image processing.